Just... Is all this stuff really just for me? Ha! Something about the way you work is just inspiring. So I want to give you this data. Hopefully, it'll make your life a bit easier. Do you have enough materials? Why don't I increase the amount you withdraw from here?
Now displaying your current order grade.
I've got something for this model. Shotguns can be devastating. However, the grenade... This data was sent to me on the chiral network. So, now while I got you, I've got a feeling you'll vibe with it. I really hope to see you again. Later, man.
Order completed. Well done.
Thanks for being here.
Hey Sam, Charlie here. Since this is your first order involving the capture and preservation of animals, allow me to provide additional information. The kangaroo you're looking for is somewhere in this area. Once you've arrived, use your Odra deck to begin searching for the creature. You can transport the kangaroo in your standard issue animal carrier. No need to fabricate anything unique. Get close enough to the kangaroo and deploy the carrier to capture it. It will be a bulky piece of cargo, but you should be able to carry it on your back like any other container. However, you will need to traverse some heavily wooded mountains as well as rivers and uneven terrain. Bear this in mind when considering what equipment to take with you. All right, time to proceed with route planning and final preparations.
Accepted. Thank you.
What in the world?
We have a situation, Sam. I'm tracking a fresh bushfire near the injured kangaroo's location. Clock's ticking. Secure the poor little bugger ASAP and bring the shelter onto the chiral network. Once the DHV Magellan can join you on site, we'll see what we can do about that fire.
Commencing route creation.
Look out, Sam! Fire! We need to get away from here as quickly as possible. Hey, Sam, over there! I see the kangaroo. Get close enough to put it in an animal carrier for transport. All right, time to make our getaway. This was marked as a dangerous location on your map, Sam. We could get trapped here by the bushfire. Let's keep moving to ensure that doesn't happen.
Commencing route creation. Delivery.
Still not sure how we survived that. Anyway, we have a Cupid to connect, right?
Just a bit further now.
Drawbridge credentials verified. Welcome, Sam.
Security measures lifted. Weapons detected.
You must be Sam. We've heard all about you from your friends at Drawbridge. Go ahead and connect us to the chiral network.
Thank you, Sam. Don't worry about the fire. Rainey will put it out for us.
Tell me though, who is she exactly?
It's been about 6 months now, since I first heard about the girl who brought the rain.
Whenever I stepped outside, the timefall came. There was nothing that I could do to make it stop. And they hated me for it. Including my parents, who told me to leave. I was the witch who brought the timefall. A monster to be locked up in a cage. A few even tried to burn me alive. The most dedicated witch hunters. I struck out on my own. I was alone for so long. In desperation, I enrolled in a special UCA program. Hoping to find purpose as a mother.
Hi there. You're safe.
Still couldn't find anyone willing to take me in.
I'm sorry.
No.
We need to leave right now.
Please.
God, get out of here!
No one wanted anything to do with me. All they saw was a witch, to be hated and feared. Until that day. I'm so sorry.
Hey there. You're Rainey, aren't you?
Who's asking?
Someone who's been looking for you. For you and your power.
You want my power? Why?
You're a pharmacon. Medicine that can harm, poison that can heal. It's all in how you use it. Want to come work for me? I believe you can save the world.
You do?
There are things only you can accomplish.
Only me. Really?
Really. My name's Fragile. And I'm happy we could finally meet. I'm here for you. For both of you. I'll be your umbrella. And together we'll show the world the hope in your reign. Come on. Who wouldn't want the baby to catch a cold? Come on.
Is even more amazing than we'd heard. Thanks to everything you've done for us, the animals are unharmed and the facilities are holding up just fine. It's a wonderful relief. Anyway, I'll check your orders now. The kangaroo seems to be good and healthy. Nothing to worry about. I hope you'll continue to work with us.
Now displaying your current porter grade.
The kangaroo you rescued seemed... Oh, she's so very special to us, and we're relieved to have her back in one piece. Once she's had a bit more time to recuperate, we'll move her to the reserve next door where you can visit anytime you like. By the way, we've uploaded our decoy hologrenade data to the network. You can trigger it. It might just save your life if you run afoul of any troublemakers. Well, we first found her in an area with high concentrations of chiralium. How wild animals are affected by prolonged exposure is something we still don't understand completely. But it's thought this may be a key factor in how chiral creatures come into existence. So, you can see why our wee girl would be an invaluable research subject. It's where we look after the animals in our care. The vegetation around here didn't die out like elsewhere, and we still have a reliable water supply. After we screen each animal in our underground facilities, we release them into the reserve and monitor their health over time. When that kangaroo you rescued is strong enough, we'll move her up top where she'll be able to stretch her legs. That being said, changes in the environment can have a profound impact on many species, causing never-before-seen creatures to appear, throwing the ecosystem into chaos. Which is why we strive to preserve native animals here for future generations. Cheers, Sam. You really helped us out. At this rate, we're poised to lose so many native species that predate the Death Stranding. And once they're gone, there's no getting them back. Between the bushfires caused by chiral cinders and animals behaving strangely and getting hurt, it's been pretty bad. But I've heard that these environmental anomalies might be resolved once and for all when Australia is fully linked up. So I've got high expectations for you and your friends. Speaking of which, how would you feel about assisting us with it? It'd be a simple matter of even a few would make it.
Well done, Sam. Return to the DHV Magellan and report to the bridge. I'd like to tell you a little bit more about Rainey and her talents.
Order completed. Well done.
We owe you one. Till next time.
Until next time, okay?
We can't thank you enough. Safe travel.
Disengaging weapons restrictions.
Take care,
When she's outside, Rainey's constantly surrounded by timefall. But within a 1.5-meter radius of her body, a different kind of precipitation is observed. We call it core fall. Anything it touches is restored to an earlier state. In other words, it has the power to heal and repair, to counteract timefall's effects. Sadly, people only see the timefall, and not the remarkable woman standing in the eye of the storm. Still no signs of growth?
I should be due any day now. If things were normal, that is. But the baby's still stuck at 7 months.
She has still baby syndrome. Have you ever heard of it?
I met a few preppers in Mexico that had something like that.
They're not isolated cases. It seems to be happening everywhere. Though who knows if it's a syndrome or a symptom of something else.
Simply put, the fetus stops growing at about 7 months. To be clear, it doesn't die, but it no longer moves, as if it's frozen in time. Several treatments, including C-sections, have been attempted. Removal from the womb invariably results in death. And while not all pregnancies are affected, it's yet another contributing factor to the already low birth rate. The Genetic Diversity Conservation Initiative just isn't enough to compensate.
You got any idea what's causing it?
There's speculation that it's due to an imbalance in the beach itself. I'm sure it's been explained to you before that countless individual beaches exist, a multiverse of beaches, so to speak, and that they are all governed by an upper beach on a higher plane. Expansion of the chiral network to cover the whole UCA may have inadvertently disrupted the link to that beach. Or so they think.
BB units were also 7-month-old fetuses. So it's not hard to believe that the beach might very well influence the unborn.
While I can offer you no concrete answer, I can state that the plan to extend the chiral network into the Australian continent, to take it worldwide, is also intended to help restore balance to the aforementioned upper beach. And in doing so, it is possible that we may resolve the issue of still baby syndrome.
Showers these days are truly impressive, Sam. They really are. They're able to collect all the minute chiral crystals from your wastewater and repurpose them for later use. The ones on board the DHV Magellan are the latest model. You would do well to use them regularly. It's important to remember that defeating BTs isn't the same as eliminating a threat once and for all. These entities are simply being driven back to the world of the dead for the time being. As usual, Drawbridge can't help but run its people ragged. Sam, been a while since you had a proper shower, wouldn't you say?
Hi, Sam.
Sam, why don't you let...
Order accepted. Thank you.
Good luck with ordering and all that.
We hope to see you again soon.
The animal shelter provides care for vulnerable and isolated creatures. Should you encounter such a specimen, please secure the delivery to the shelter facility.
Yeah, sure thing.
Feels good.
Who calls for comfort?
Order completed. Well done.
Sam, it's Charlie. I'm pleased to inform you that you can now use the map on your ring terminal to check the weather forecast. We utilize information provided by Rainey. Take them into consideration.
tar currents became incredibly unstable. It's gotten so bad that the DHV Magellan can't travel safely. We're still looking into what might have caused this, and we'll be in touch the second we know more.
Commencing route creation. Delivery.
There's a BT nearby.
delivering.
Impossible, I know. But I can feel it in my soul. I'm looking for a sign that you were here.
You know, I've been thinking about what happened to Lou. Fragile holds herself personally responsible for those tragic events. If Higgs was indeed behind the attack, then I can understand why she feels that way. Why she blames herself for setting everything in motion. But she's resolved not to let any of it show. Bottle it up and put on a brave face. She didn't used to smoke before, did she? I suspect it's a form of self-punishment she's adopted. Vengeance gives rise to a cycle of violence, and Higgs wouldn't have it any other way. But she's committed to helping you complete this journey, together with Lou, to get you back on your feet. And if she believes she has to bury her emotions and play the part of a hard-nosed commander to do that, she will. That's what I think, anyway. I'm sure you can understand her position.
Right now. Without you here, the creature
creation.
Are you Sam? Then does that mean you carry this hefty delivery all the way from West Fort Knott? Way to make an entrance. We welcome you with open arms. Now let's get this cargo of yours processed. I have to say, this cargo is a thing of beauty. You've made my day. Where did you dig up this cargo? I can't believe it. What a gift. I hope you'll continue to support... All right. Can you connect your Cupid to our facility?
Now displaying your current porter grade.
And now we're finally connected to the chiral network. This should make our job so much easier. And to make your job easier, I've gone ahead and shared data for a suit I think you'll love. Oh, right. I also wanted to give you this as thanks. Introducing the Blood Boomerang. Throw it properly and it'll come right back to your hand. Folds up nicely too. You'll find it's especially effective against BT. With the aid of your network, we should also be able to, which we need since the brigands out west have rapidly improved their... Honestly, you couldn't have gotten as a chiral network as it. This has led the brigands to conclude that the network itself is, which is why they're opposed to it. But it's not like we can sit back and do nothing. One day they started sporting a whole lot more weaponry, including grenade launchers with custom tranquilizing gas rounds. Thing is, the brigands don't have a chiral printer at their base as far as we know. So, where'd they get all the new hardware all of a sudden? Kind of worrying, don't you think? At this observatory, we focus on monitoring the behavior of tar currents. There's a patch of BT territory due north of here, and just beyond it is land that's currently being subsumed by tar. There's no telling when the facility will be lost to the tar as well. So it's important. Incidents of tar current, and thanks to the chiral network, though. After I moved to Australia, the locals learned me all the ins and outs of the boomerang. I then designed a new type. You infuse it with Doom's blood before throwing it. The bigger the charge, the greater. Naturally, most people would have to rely on blood bags sourced from donors, but since you have Dooms, unlike traditional firearms, it hardly makes noise. That said, don't expect... We appreciate the help. Best of luck to you, Sam. The tar currents are acting up again. Guess it's back to work for me. Let's both keep...
That was excellent work, Sam. Thanks to you, the better. Now it's time for you to head. It is imperative that you connect all of Australia. There will be challenges, of course. I expect...
Sam, this is Tom here. We believe that we finally determined the location of whatever's thrown the tar currents into chaos. The chiralium levels there are pretty high, though, and BTs are almost certain to be present as well. I hate to ask, but would you mind taking a look for us? It's close to your current position. I've sent you the coordinates. We're counting on you, Sam.
say a prayer for your help.
Commencing route creation. Delivery. Disengaging weapons restrictions.
Take care. Easy does it.
location. Deliver.
Where are we? Spirits of the dead are close. Heads up, Sam. It's not safe. They're not human. Don't... Underestimate them. Wait, are they trying to lay a trap for us? The Odra deck is reacting to something. We should keep an eye on it and proceed with caution. There's too many. You can't handle them all by yourself. But maybe split them up. Take them one by one. He's escaped, Sam. Up into that tower. He's too quick. Must have gone up to the roof. Sam, might it be worth getting up close and personal with them? Keeping your distance may only make it easier for them to target you. Maybe there's a way to infiltrate that building they've garrisoned.
say nirvana? Is he implying this is some sort of realm for the enlightened?
You're right.
It's her, isn't it? The girl from before? I have no idea what just happened, but we should probably take her back to the DHV Magellan, hmm?
Now displaying your current porter grade.
How's it going, Sam? You look better already. That's a relief. While you were recovering, we managed to learn a few things about our mystery girl. When you feel up to it, come to the room next door. Don't push yourself. Take your time.
Are you sure you're all right, Sam? I did notice that you were tossing and turning in your sleep. And I'm still not sure what to make of the girl we found in that other place. Why don't we do as Fragile suggested and visit her in the next room?
Come on. Gently.
Careful, careful.
Come on.
Careful.
Come down.
You got it?
Come on.
Thanks.
This is what happens when she has nightmares, it seems.
There are those who connect with the beach during REM sleep, allowing a tremendous amount of chiralium to flow into their bodies.
Hey, is your wrist gonna be okay?
Yeah. We ran some blood and DNA tests on her. And checked her for signs of injury.
As far as we can tell from a medical perspective, her health is in perfect condition. But that doesn't make the crystalloid shell in which we found her any less troubling. Not to mention the tar-like fluid that came pouring out of it. We're still analyzing both. And there's more.
You mean those suckers?
Indeed. But that's not what I'd call them. Much closer to a chiral rash, I would say. You know how chiral allergies can sometimes trigger goosebumps? It's like that, except a fair bit worse. The tar-like secretions can accelerate the passage of time on contact, it seems.
We suspect she has dooms too.
And that when she's levitating, she's experiencing the nightmares common amongst sufferers.
That space or realm she left behind to come here. The fellow we saw called it Nirvana, I believe. But to me, it looked like the land of the dead.
Even so, she's a living human being. And I believe that she was born in that place. After things settled down, I spoke with her for a little. Or tried to. She was still in shock, which made it harder to communicate.
Did she tell you her name?
Doesn't seem like she has one. As far as I could tell. So, I named her myself. Tomorrow.
Tomorrow, huh?
Sam, it's Charlie. We've recently received a report of brigands engaging in suspicious activity to the west. I'm sure you'd like to push on, but I don't think we can afford to ignore this. Please access the DHV Magellan's delivery terminal to undertake this main order.
Before I forget, Sam, it seems you left some cargo behind outside the Northern Environmental Observatory, where the tar bubbled up before we were whisked away to the other side. You remember all that excitement, yes? Anyway, Tarman was kind enough to collect your cargo for us. It's been placed in your private locker aboard the DHV Magellan.
Sam, we've received an urgent request from the Northern Environmental Observatory. Brigands to the west of the facility have got their hands on a large stockpile of weapons and have taken it back to their base. This happened shortly after the recent tarfall abated. The surrounding area was littered with a massive quantity of cargo that had been washed up by the tar. The brigands wasted no time gathering up everything they could and hauling it back to their encampment. This included weapons and gear unlike any we've seen before. And now we've begun observing new brigand units in the field. These ones are wearing red, reinforced armor, accented with luminescent light strips. As their unique appearance suggests, they're more resistant to damage. Melee and electrical attacks are especially ineffective against them. These units have clearly been outfitted for close quarters combat. And their sudden deployment is troubling to say the least. Their presence likely indicates that the brigand, if we ignore this development, the brigands could use it. So we need to seize all of it. Moreover, The latest data from the observatory strongly suggests an explosion of some sort occurred just beneath the Earth's surface not long ago. APAS analyzed the shockwave and has concluded that it is consistent with the type produced by ground penetrant. This leads us to believe that the cargo the brigand directly assaulting the brigands using firearms risks triggering these devices. Any sort of catastrophic explosion. It is therefore critical that you avoid. I implore you to take on this.
Let's catch up. Nice catch. Recovered everything then. Hey, let's get it delivered.
Commencing route creation. Delivery route finalized.
Keep it up. Keep it up.
destination. Delivery.
Whoa. That was close.
Good day, Sam. Access the delivery terminal to process your orders and requests.
Oh. He's toppled over.
Just like that, Sam.
Appreciate you coming. Did you really go out and steal all that stuff from the brigands? Way to go, Sam. Let me get started on It all looks to be in decent enough condition to me. Job well done. You have accomplished so much, done things only you could have done. We want you to have this data as thanks. We've increased your allocation of materials.
Now displaying your current porter grade.
The guidepost data we just shared with you is great for making landmarks to prevent people, and when you do place them, but also for aside from that, we've also made it so you can now use your PCC to fabricate the rivers ahead of you are prone to floodings. Oh, and Sam, call it a little insight into the cargo. It included a device I believe you guys have taken to calling a chiral jammer. These jammers are capable. In addition, you also recovered some Needless to say, both these items could... In other words, we've really dodged a bullet. But what I'd like to know is why this tech wound up in their hands in the first place. Honestly, it's almost like we've got to consider the food for thought on the...
Excellent work, Sam. You'll be happy to hear that tomorrow's regained consciousness. Once you're back on board the DHV Magellan, you should see for yourself.
Order completed. Well done.
Stop it.
Someone doesn't like shoes? She won't even touch any normal food. But at least we managed to convince her to take a shower. No, tomorrow. We don't do that.
Seems like a real handful.
She just needs some time to settle.
You must be tired, Sam. Get some rest.
As usual, Drawbridge can't help but run its people ragged.
Sam, by linking up the various sites farther to the north, you'll eventually be able to establish a connection to Hartman's facility. In short, it's time to tackle the northern part of the continent. Start by bringing the F2 South Distribution Center into the network. Some of the staff there are former residents of Cape Fort Knott who managed to escape the city before it was swallowed up by the tar. In addition to overseeing distribution operations, they also protect the facility from would-be assailants. Unfortunately, local chiral contamination levels are extremely high, leading to disturbing reports of paranormal phenomena near the facility. The cargo you're tasked with delivering should aid staff in dealing with this issue. Accept the main order from this delivery terminal to proceed.
This cargo has been designated Do Not Submerge.
Order accepted.
Commencing route creation. Delivery route finalized. Commencing route creation. Delivery route.
Better not let me down.
Might there be somewhere we can cross more easily?
Commencing route creation. Delivery route final.
Drawbridge, I presume. Yeah, you seem like the genuine article. Welcome. Hope it wasn't too hard to track. I'll just need a moment to check your cargo. There don't seem to be any problems with this cargo. One less thing to worry about. You have been making them. All right.
Now
So we've been linked up, at last. There's also the necrobiotes you brought us as well. Feels like we finally turned a corner.
For our part, we've shared data for some custom vehicle components, as well as some sturdy combat boots. I'm sure the vehicle parts in particular will come in handy for combat and cargo retrieval. You need all the help you can get, because those armed survivalists waiting for you out east are far more dangerous foes than the brigands. They're a bunch of fools who won't hesitate to kill people, with no shortage of lethal weaponry. Though I'll be damned if I know where they got it. Make sure you're prepared before you head their way. Speaking of which, those combat boots ought to add some serious power to your kicks. You might want to equip a pair if you intend on getting up close and personal.
They're not something just anyone should be messing with. Their affinity with the dead makes them dangerous. But that's also why we could use them to prevent. With that kind of power, it could solve all...
Some people have called me that. A while back, we had a situation with this group that went to... And I was the boxing champ who went up against these guys and sent them all packing with nothing but his bare fists. That's the story they tell, but it sure as hell ain't the truth.
I didn't charge gallantly into battle and beat the shit out of them. I approached them in peace so we could work it out. I asked why they were stealing from other people, and they said it was because they didn't have the skills to live any other way. So I taught them other ways to survive, trained them a bit. Nothing more than that, really. In the end, all we had to do was talk to each other. They weren't like the other riffraff you find them, and they're still here. If anyone, I mean, you're...
Anyway, if we succeed, feel free to lend a...
Thanks again. With your...
Sam, you're the best. Now get yourself back to the DHV Magellan and take a load off. Just so you know, tomorrow's been doing much better. Pay her a visit when you can, okay?
Order completed. Well done.
Thanks for the help.
Disengaging weapons restrictions.
Take care, Sam.
Raindrops are falling on my head. Oh, just a little longer, okay? Raindrops are falling on my head. And just like the guy whose feet are too big for his bed, nothing seems to fit. Those raindrops are falling on my head, they keep falling. You know this song? So I just did me some talking to the sun. And I said I didn't like the way he got things done. Sleeping on the job. Those raindrops are falling on my head, they keep falling. But there's one thing I know. The blues they send to meet me won't defeat me. It won't be long till happiness steps up to greet me. Okay.
Raindrops keep falling on my head. But that doesn't mean my eyes will soon be turning red.
Are you alright, Sam? That was a gatequake just now. It seems West Fort Knot was hit hard, and their Cairo printer is no longer working. I'm afraid we won't be able to continue expanding the network until it's back up and running. Pick up your next main order via the terminal at the F2 South Distribution Center.
Necrobiotes are fascinating, and they seem to have become more commonplace lately as well, ever since you and I were swallowed up by that tar fall, to be specific. This sudden increase in the population should be considered yet another example of an environmental anomaly. If we successfully extend the network across the continent and trigger a plate gate to appear, such anomalies should begin to wane.
So you made it out okay. Those tremors were intense, but we're doing fine here. I think West Fort Knot got the worst of it, though. Your cargo has already been prepared. If you could deliver it to West Fort Knot as quickly as you can, that'd be great. We need to support each other at times like these, so pick up the priority order from the delivery terminal right away. I'm counting on you, Sam.
Delivery route finalized.
Okay. Stretching my legs. So I shut the door and leave for a glass of wet champagne. Pour it on the TV screen. That's the way. Snag.
Yeah!
That's the way. In a city I don't so shut the door and leave. Don't rely on famous men. Only live in common them. Let me lie on Alice bed. Just a bit further now.
Oh, Sam, I'm so glad to see you again. We just got hit by a massive quake. I was afraid you might have got hurt out there, or worse. Anyway, I'll check your cargo. Good. I'm not seeing any significant damage. It feels as though we're always leaning on you for support. Please allow us to return the favor with this data. Just wanted to let you know that we're increased...
Now displaying your current porter grade.
Thank you so much. We should be able to get our chiral printer in working order now. I've never felt tremors like that before. Not even when the tar currents were acting up. It makes me pretty concerned about other folks living nearby. But at least the monorail you patched up seems to be none the worse for wear. Hey, out of curiosity, have you restored any of the other large mines? They'd be a great source of materials if you were ever in need. There are a few large mines in the northern part of the continent, not far from where you'll find North Fort Knot. Or where you used to be able to find it, I should say, before it was wiped off the map by a void out. As for the mines, no one knows if they were obliterated too. But if you happen to be headed that way, you might want to see if they're still around. Are you familiar with the island that lies north of our facility here at West Fort Knot? Well, there's a shelter on that island. The man who lives there only cares about his research and never talks to anyone. But I can't help worrying that he might have been hurt during the tremors. You've been such a big help to us. Rest assured, our staff will see that everyone gets their share of the aid packages you delivered. A lot of people are going to be singing your praises before too long. Best of luck to you with everything.
Thanks for all your hard work. Everything there seems to be in order. But one cannot help but wonder what other facilities were affected. Anyway, you can pick up your next order from the F2 South Distribution Center. This one's a rescue mission, Sam. Someone's been taken hostage by the armed survivalists, and we need you to extract them to safety. The survivalists have been known to kill people, so you'll want to take extra care when preparing for this one. Oh, and it seems the tar currents have finally stabilized. So the DHV Magellan should be able to travel without issue. Call us if you need us. All right, Sam. Good luck.
Order completed. Well done. Order accepted. Thank you.
Hey, Sam. Charlie here. This order is a hostage rescue operation. The target for extraction is this man. He was conducting a search in a mining region when communications abruptly ceased. He went there at the behest of the Dowser, who resides at the next facility you need to link up. Take heed that the mine in question is currently under the control of the armed survivalists, a faction whose members have no reservations about using lethal force and should be considered a serious threat. To make matters worse, some of them have been observed wearing armor as well as active skeletons. Such enemies will possess increased mobility and defensive capabilities. It would therefore be prudent to bring equipment to counter these advantages. There's no telling how much longer they'll keep the hostage alive. Moreover, saving him may help us to pursue future objectives in this region and beyond. Regardless, this is a matter of life and death for the Dowser's friend. Give your preparations all due consideration. He's counting on you, Sam.
Order accepted. Thank you.
Hey there. Thanks for... I certainly wasn't expecting this. What a... Your efforts have enabled us to share this data with you. I hope you find it useful. We've increased your allocation of materials.
Now displaying your current porter grade.
It's the schematic for a utility pack with a or best of luck.
Order completed. Well done.
destination. Delivery route.
Just like the guy whose feet are too big for his.
man we came to rescue appears to be unconscious. Place him in a protective bag and get him to safety. Take our ailing friend to the Dowser shelter. We just need to figure out how to get over these mountains first.
Delivery. Route creation. Delivery.
you are. Thank goodness. And you saved my friend, too. Give me a moment to take stock. Wow, he looks as healthy as ever, despite having been held captive in enemy territory. That's amazing. There's something special about you. This was meant to be. I can feel...
Now displaying your current porter grade.
So, I'm a part of the chiral network now, am I? You can't even begin to imagine how much this is going to benefit my work. As thanks, I've shared the schematic for a level 2 PCC. I sense you'll need to build all kinds of structures to deal with the obstacles you're going to encounter from here on out. For instance, this more advanced PCC will allow you to fabricate zip lines. And this zip line's design is even better than the one you used back in the UCA. I also have another gift to share. A schematic for a boost skeleton. Throw it on and it'll allow you to carry heavy cargo with relative ease. And prepare to be amazed when you give it a boost. You'll run faster than ever and jump even farther too. That's a signature feature. It also has shock absorbers that reduce the damage you take from a big drop. But don't forget that boosting consumes battery power, so make sure you've got enough for when you need to rely on these features. Oh, and in case you're wondering, that friend of mine you rescued is doing well. His condition is stable and he's just catching up on some sleep. I can't thank you enough for getting him out. I search for underground streams and mineral veins. My gift also allows me to perceive distant objects. So, people sometimes ask me to track down lost items for them as well. But I only identify the general location. I leave it to my friend to handle the actual retrieval. Like the old design, this zipline enables an individual to travel quickly between two anchors. However, you'll find it offers greater comfort and freedom of movement to the rider. Also, the lines themselves can now curve ever so slightly if necessary, which makes zipping around more viable in areas with plentiful obstacles. You see, even if I know where the thing I'm searching for is, it doesn't mean I can get there. That's why I've been looking into tools like this to facilitate travel. And with any luck, I'll have more solutions like this to share in the near future. He'd gone out to secure an item I'd located. The request came from a drawbridge member, actually Hartman. He said it was essential for his research into using the beach for jumping. Anyway, I used my gift to ascertain the item's location. We knew that area wasn't safe, but my friend was willing to take the risk regardless. And despite what happened, he still managed to complete the job. I'll admit, he can be a bit reckless, but when he resolves to do something, he always sees it through. There's another request I'd like to send your way, but I'll need a little more time to get everything in order. I'm still in the middle of processing the item my friend recovered before he got captured. So, I hope you don't mind waiting. I hate to inconvenience you, especially since I wouldn't even be able to make this request if you hadn't saved him. Oh, by the way, do you like apples? My friend brought a few back with him. It's just a shame he grabbed them before they'd fully ripened. He's got a bit of an impulsive nature, just his way. But don't worry, they'll be ready to eat soon enough. I'll send them to you then. Thank you again, Sam.
I'm glad you were able to get them out safely. That group was more dangerous than your average band of hostiles. Those weapons they were carrying were state-of-the-art. You'll need to keep an eye out for them in the future. Groups like these make me nervous about letting Tomorrow spend time outside, even though she's doing better. When you return to the DHV Magellan, you should see for yourself how much progress she's made. And get some rest. You're long overdue. I'm sure Dahlman's tired too.
Work complete. Well done.
I wish you safe travel.
Disengaging weapons restrictions.
Hey, come on.
Tomorrow. I'm sorry, but you have to stay on board. It's too dangerous to go out by yourself. And you'll have to put on your shoes.
Look at this, Tamar. They're not quite ripe yet, but I think they might... It's okay, Tamar, really. For you.
Hey Sam, had yourself a good kip? There's something we'd like to discuss with you. Mind coming to the bridge for a quick chat? Glad you're here. I thought both of you should have a say in this. Listen, about the girl, tomorrow. This is the spot where we picked her up. We're still reading Tarfall activity there, which means there might still be a passage to the other side. It's possible she could still use it to go back home.
You want to send her back to that hellhole?
If that's where her family is, it's where she belongs.
You've got to be kidding me.
This isn't her world. She isn't one of us. That chrysalis, we found her inside. It was filled with a fluid that contained amino acids. One's identical in structure to the kind found in tar.
I'm sorry, there are amino acids in tar? As in proteins?
Of course. How else did you think that chiral creatures could emerge from it? Or to be more accurate, be born from it? Some have even theorized that the tar is a sort of primordial soup.
Wait, are you saying that Tomorrow is a chiral creature?
No, not at all. Her DNA and cellular structure prove that she's human.
Well, the world we found her in was filled with the dead. Almost like some kind of beach. But Tomorrow herself is alive. She's a living human being. We should look after her here. Women and children and the weak have always been easy targets. In every conflict and disaster, we're always the first to suffer.
But even if her world is as bleak as you suspect, she may still be happier there, surrounded by the friends and family she knows and loves.
Friends and family don't guarantee happiness. Not in the least.
I understand how you feel, but I believe she should stay with us. Sam.
I was there. I saw her home. And it was a hellhole. We can't send her back.
All right. I'm pulling rank and making the call. She stays. At least until things have calmed down. Understood?
Did you hear that just now? It came from the hall outside.
Sam, I can't find Tomorrow. She must have left in Magellan at some point. She's not wearing a room terminal, so we have no way of tracking her position. And the continent is full of dangers she's never encountered.
I should mention she didn't appear to have received even a single vaccination. So I decided to repurpose the batch Deadman left for Lou and gave her the full gamut. She's been immunized against just about everything, so you've got nothing to worry about on that score.
But she's still a stranger in the world that isn't her own. And I don't think she's capable of surviving out there. Not all by herself. Please, Sam. Find Tomorrow for us.
And be sure to take a weapon with you, just in case. When you're ready, check the main order on the delivery terminal for more information about what to expect.
This has certainly taken a turn. Come on, Sam. Let's start looking for her. It can be terribly difficult for children to witness an argument between adults. Now, Tomorrow is not exactly a child, of course. But she saw us, the people who took her in, struggling to decide what to do with her. That can't have made her feel good. We should have involved her in the conversation. For now, though, I just want to do my part to help find her. When you're ready to head out, be sure to take me with you.
Sam, something worrying came to my attention while I was searching for Tomorrow. There have been a few reports of mechanized belligerents in this region. You should consider them hostile if and when you come into contact.
So, review your equipment loadout via the delivery terminal and make sure you're prepared for anything. Only then should you pick up the next main order.
All of Drawbridge is committed to helping you find tomorrow. Let's bring her back home, Sam.
Look, Sam, tomorrow's footprints. Why don't we see where they lead?